Stop building AI automations and start building agentic workflows. Google just released their vibe coding platform Antigravity and is changing how AI systems are built. I've created hundreds of automations across multiple different platforms, and systems like this are already being used within multi-billion-dollar businesses. But agentic workflows are changing how businesses are run. No code like anything gives us a visual interface on how to build these flows. And now, you may not even need that. With tools like Antigravity, you just explain what you want in plain English and it helps create that for you. And it can also even create these workflows inside of n8n as well. You don't necessarily have to think in multi-node logic, and you don't have to spend hours troubleshooting when something breaks. The system can figure it out and correct itself as it goes. In this video, I'm going to show you one of the best ways to set up Antigravity with the DOE framework, which stands for Directive, Orchestration, and Execution. Then we'll build a YouTube RSS-like scraper that is going to grab videos on channels that you love and save them into sheets in minutes. And if you want access to the agent we built today and you want to learn how to actually make money with AI and automations, I'll leave a link in the description below. Let's dive in. So here I have an automation that takes in from sheets where I have my channels that I like. It's going to retrieve those channels. It's going to get the actual IDs instead of just grabbing the handles. So it'll take care of all that for us. So here I have 3 different channels. It grabs their information. It gives us different signals based on some of the best videos from there. And then we have a digest that it saves in sheets, which is just information about whatever we just tried to summarize. And this is great, but my goal today is I want to see if I can build this from scratch with pretending that I have no knowledge of code, and I just want to let Antigravity do all of this for me. So the question is, could somebody do this? Well, first we have to download Antigravity. So this is Antigravity Google, and what you'll do is just click the download button up here or in the middle, depending on what machine you have, and then you just start running it. So now that I have Antigravity open, I don't have any folders or any projects started. So before we get into this, we need to create one. So you can go to Open Folder. Here you can go ahead and create a folder where a project will be stored, and then go ahead and open that. Okay, so now what we have on the left-hand side, this Explorer or the project pane, this is where we're going to be storing all of our files and where it's going to be creating everything for us. Then here in the center, this is basically our editor where we won't be doing any code, but this is where all of the code within the files will be displayed. And then on the right-hand side, this is our agent. This is what's actually going to help us create everything that we want to build. What we're going to build here is we're going to use an agents.markdown file that we're going to use from this Google Doc, which you will have access to. And we're going to copy this, create the markdown file. And this is going to be similar to the Claude markdown file that you've used with Claude Code. If you haven't, that's okay. But we'll go ahead and I'm going to show you how to run this. So I'm going to go ahead and just kind of copy all of this right here, copy this, go back to Antigravity. And then at the top left here in the Explorer, we're going to go ahead and create a new file and just name this Agents.md. I'm going to paste everything here and then just make sure you save. You see the white little circle at the top of the file there? That means it hasn't been saved yet, but we have done something here. Okay, so just really quick, we mentioned that this is a 3-layer architecture. We have the directive, orchestration, and execution. Okay, so basically with the directive, we're going to use SOPs, standard operating procedures, written in Markdown in a directives folder. It's going to basically give the goals, inputs, and any tools or scripts that we may be using for this project. The orchestration, okay, so this is basically the routing of what we're actually be doing. So it's going to read the directives and call execution tools in the right order, handle any errors, ask for clarification, etc. Okay, and then the execution, right? This is where we're going to actually have the code that will be executed. All those files will be stored here. Something else to think about is when it says self-anneal, it's just basically self-correcting. So that means that if it sees that there's error, it's going to go ahead and figure out how to self-correct so that we don't have to keep messing with it ourselves. It'll figure out how to do that by itself. And I got this from Duncan here. If you want to visit his channel, he has some great information on this as well. But this is where I originally got this markdown file and this execution order from him. Okay, so now I want Antigravity to set up the project so that we can then tell it exactly what we want to build. Okay, so it's going to use this markdown file to do that. So over on the right-hand side, where we have the agent and the input box, I'm just going to type in instantiate based on the agent's markdown file. Okay, so instantiate means just going to start executing things based and getting everything prepared based on this markdown file that we've created. So what you can see is it's going ahead and it's going through the thoughts. I mean, a lot of Cursor does this as well, especially when you're using planning mode or something, but we can see exactly what it's thinking and what it's doing whenever it's going through this agents markdown file to then create all of the other folders that it needs to once it sees how we want it to shape the project. So the first thing is it's going to create an implementation plan for us. So here are the basic changes. Here are the directories it's going to create. It's going to create a git ignore based on this information. It's going to create an environment example file. And then it'll perform, then we have a verification plan for us. So we go ahead and like this. So I'm going to click proceed here, or we can go over here and click proceed. So now that it has this implementation plan, we could probably tell it, hey, do some other things, but we're just going to go ahead and go through this. Now we're going to start accepting things that we wanted to create for us. All right, it created the walkthrough. The setup for is just explaining what it did. So, okay, I'd like this. You can see in the project pane, everything that it said it would create, it did. Now let's go ahead and give it the prompt so that we can have it begin creating our project. So you'll have this too, right? This is also inspired by Duncan as well. It's just I'm doing something a little bit different than what he was doing. And so basically this is the prompt where we're going to collect, clean, evaluate, summarize, and distribute. Okay, so this is just kind of giving it as clear instructions as possible on what we want to do. And you can even give it more explicit instructions if you knew a little bit more of what kind of project you wanted, right? The better and more clear you give instructions as the prompt to the LLM, the better output you're going to get. So we're going to go ahead and copy this, come back here, and now we're just going to paste this in. This is what we want it to basically create. So what it's going to do, it's going to, based on all of the information it has for the architecture setup and what we want, it's now going to start creating this workflow for us. And then we will have to do some things at the end, probably like API keys, going to Google Cloud, but that's okay. We'll get there, but it's going to create everything for us and we can just watch it work. And here it even gave us another implementation plan about the actual project. So you can see we're going to need YouTube Data API, LLM API key, Google Sheets API, and then here the directives of layer 1 execution script. So here's all the scripts it wants to create, the configuration and verification plan, etc. So we're gonna go ahead and proceed with this. And now it has a plan and it's gonna go ahead and start create everything based around that. And it's just a little halfway through creating all the scripts, but you can see on the right hand side here, it's implementing each video as it said it would. So we got the collect videos, clean videos, the evaluate videos. It just finished the summarize videos, and you can see it's thinking as it goes on what exactly it wants to do. So we'll come back whenever it's done all of the implementation, and then we'll see what else we need to do so we can get this working right away. Okay, so it finished, and now what it did is it gave me another walkthrough of things that I need to do, such as get my API keys and everything situated. Okay, so it created requirements for everything that we need. It gave an example channels text file where we can just add them here. And then here are all the execution scripts that we will need to use. So what we need to do though is we need these API keys. Okay, so first we need a YouTube API key, an OpenAI API key, and then we need a Sheets ID, so the target Google Sheet. Okay, then we need a credentials.json. Okay, this is a few things, but I kind of considered that whenever, I was going to be doing this, right? There are actually, with the YouTube, we could use YouTube Download Player, which is a very popular Python library. Okay, and I could ask it to do that instead of getting the YouTube API key, but this is fine as well. And we'll get some work with how to actually get that ready as well. Okay, so if we go to Google Cloud Console, they basically just created a new project up here called Antigravity. And what we need to do is we need to get some APIs ready so that we can actually execute things with Sheets and YouTube. All right, so here at APIs and services, I'm going to click on this and we need to enable them. So what we're going to do at the top here, enable APIs and services, we can first search for YouTube, and we want to enable YouTube Data API. I'm going to click enable. This will take a minute, and then we're going to go back and also enable the Sheets API. Okay, so it's done. So we're going to go ahead and let's go back. Let's enable another API and service. This will be Sheets. Press enter, Google Sheets API. Let's go ahead and enable this as well. Okay, then we can go to credentials here. There's a few different things that we need, but we're going to use create credentials. I'm going to get an API key. This isn't exactly something that this isn't the way that I would exactly recommend it, but I don't know any coding. I don't know anything. I'm just doing what Antigravity is telling me to do. Okay. I don't know about the YouTube download library, right? I don't know that exists. That would make my life easier. So this is what we're going to do. Okay. So I'm going to rename this Antigravity, the key. I don't think we need any restrictions. Just for this example, I'm going to remove this key after we're done with this video anyways. So it's going to create this API key. Okay. So I'm going to go back. It says I need to create a YouTube API key in my env example. Okay. So YouTube API key. Okay. I'm going to paste that there. And then I also need my open API key, but let's get the credentials.json. Okay. So I know that I need that, right? So I guess in some ways I'm kind of cheating because I know what I need for this, but we do need to create credentials. And I'm going to, let's do a service account. Antigravity. If I can spell Antigravity, that's fine. I'm not really too worried about a lot of these things. Permissions, let's just do editor and continue. I don't think we need these, right? So done. Okay. So we're good there. That means I know I can now come to this action. And then for keys, I'm going to add a key. So I'm going to create a new key. I'm going to be JSON. And then I am going to put that into my Antigravity. It says in the root directory, I need to put the credentials.json in the root directory. Okay. So this means that I need to open my downloads. That's okay. And now we need an open API key. Okay, now I went ahead and added to the environment variable my open API key. But now the last thing I need is this Sheets ID. Well, let's say that I don't have a Sheets ID, right? I have no idea. So what I could do is I could just go ahead and create a Sheets, right? So let's go ahead and let's actually just go ahead and do that. That may be the simplest thing here. So I know I can go to google.com/sheets. I'm going to just create a sheet. Let's just call this YouTube Antigravity plus. Okay, so here is a Sheets ID I know is in the URL, right? So I'm just going to copy this. I'm going to delete this anyways after, so it's okay. And then I need to add the Sheets ID in the environment variable as well. And then the last thing I need to do is I just need to rename it. So I'm just going to right click, rename, .env. Oh, there we go. Okay, so now this is done. Okay, I'm going to, whoops, I don't need to review changes. I'm going to say, okay, I've finished adding the keys. Can you now test run for me? Okay, because I don't know how to run this. It says right here, but I don't know if that might not work. So I just want to ask Antigravity to run everything for me. And also, I don't know anything about these requirements. It's doing some things right here. So I'm just exit that out because I don't know what that create environment was. I have no idea. I'm trying to be as new to all this as possible. But I can see that it's doing some things over here, right? So it save 60 videos to a temporary file. Okay, so it filtered and then cleaned videos. So I guess the thing is it was filtering over a certain number of days. Now it's running an evaluation. So it's taking some of the last videos from some of those 15 videos and is doing some evaluation with OpenAI on that. I'm not sure what model it's using. I'll probably have something I have to ask it by default what it's using. But it's working. We can see that it's going through all of these videos. Let me maybe make this a little bit bigger. Actually, you can move this. I just realized I can move this to a terminal over here on Antigravity. So we can see that it's taking all of these and it's using the first 15. I don't even know if it's using any of my videos, but it saved the evaluations to a temporary file, summarized 11 signals. Okay, so it's now using the summarized video. So right here, right in the fourth Python file, we're saving the summarized videos. And then then it's finally going to do the distribute to sheets. It said it could not open. Why couldn't it open? Why couldn't you open the sheet? The sheets, the Surface account has not been shared with the sheet. Please share the sheet with client email. This sheet with that. So I'm going to click share, add add that as a person. I assume I'm going to say AI as a person. Okay, just shared. Run that again for Sheets. Okay, so let's see if that works now. Now that we have been able to, it was good enough to tell us what to do. All right. Now I kind of have ran into that plenty of times before where, it's just a permission thing. But now I can see that it's updating the worksheet. So it means it probably created worksheets also within that Python file. Okay, so it looks like it ran everything. Let's go ahead and look at the temporary files. So we have these JSON videos. I'm not really sure who Lenny's podcast is, if I'm being honest with you. I know who Alex Ramosi is and the Y Combinator. So those are the videos. These are them evaluated. So it looks like it gave a hook, a reasoning, a score, key ideas, and then this is like the raw. This is the raw information from there. But the important thing is we now save the sheets. So let's go ahead and check that out. So, looks like it moved, it created more. So I don't need that first one. But here are all the videos, right? Here are all the videos from their channels. Not all of them, actually. These are the ones that it filtered by. So here are the signals. So here's the title from them, the score, the reasoning for each of those. And then also in the digest, here's basically, looks like it's Markdown for what it took and how to evaluate so that maybe I could create a similar title related to AI. Okay, great. Now, I didn't code any of this myself, right? It created 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different Python files. It said it was going to do that. It created the whole plan, right? All I have to do is update this channels.txt, and it's going to go ahead. I could add mine, Tyler Reed AI. I could add mine. I could add IBM. I could add all kinds of other channels, and it would do the same exact thing for me. But I think it has dedupe, which means it's not going to worry about things that are already existing. It's only going to find new videos within the last X number of days. Okay, so this is great. I don't know, I pretend like I don't know anything about this. I don't know how to code or anything. And I was able to get this working and, absolutely amazing, right? And what I could also do, when I actually already did, that initial workflow, this, including all the sticky notes and everything, was also done by Antigravity. I had it make sure it got the latest nodes that are possible, and it created this for me. So even this itself was also created by Antigravity, right? I said I give it a little bit more instruction because I wanted to use N8N and create the workflow. And all I had to do was add my credentials, and it worked. There was one thing that didn't work. I asked it, hey, this isn't working. This is the error. It fixed it, told me what to do, and I fixed it, and it worked, right? So this is actually also created from Antigravity. So I was able to create a no-code version, and what we just did together was it created this code, this workflow using Markdown files that explained how I wanted the project to be built in a certain way so that it could be tested, monitored, and make sure that it works, and it'd be self-corrected if something didn't work. Honestly, we live in an amazing time, and we need to take full advantage of all of these AI tools to do everything we want. And that's the number one thing you need to realize is all these are tools. It doesn't mean you need to use everything, because not everything pertains to every situation, especially when you're building things for clients. So if you want to join my school community, which I'll have a link in the description below, it's free. I'm going to explain all of these things to you so that you can become successful. All right, thank you for watching, and now watch these videos about AI.